dimension. So Libra's love is going to a new dimension once you get this self-love done. That's the good news. What you're framing up, and by the way, love means children. It also means creative projects. Like I love being an artist, or I love doing this, or I love doing that. So you're expanding everything you love: children, romance, creativity. All right. What you're framing up is for a new personal dream. So you're seeing a new blueprint of what a personal dream may be. A personal dream is something your heart wants to experience. And that could be anything from a marriage to going to the moon to being published. But you're going to frame up a new personal dream in this new moon. So for Libras, healing your relationship to yourself, healing self-love, expanding love and creativity, and framing up personal dreams. Scorpios! Scorpios must make peace with their daily stress and their relationship to their body. You must live in the moment in Zen. You must live in Zen. Now, you've already gone to hell and back, and there's nothing else to learn here. It's a matter now of whether you do it or you don't do it. And yes, everyone needs practice, but this is Chiron in Aries. It's the last time Chiron will be in this degree in Aries in your lifetime.
Getting ready for the ceremony. Super curious who's going to be able to make it. I'm going to be dialing in on 2 different computers because this is my altar stage for you beautiful, amazing, divine sisters. I'm really excited to hear that. That's the cleansing rains of spirit raining down on us tonight on this new moon. Beautiful, blessed new moon. Oof, it's going to be so good. I love ceremonies, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm a huge ceremony person. Like ceremonies are the way that I live my life. And new moons and full moons are a great way to celebrate them. So real quick, I'm just going to jump on to this one. Not that one. Okay, let's just open up a new tab. Just to make sure that y'all aren't tapping with you guys. Embodied Empire. Things are going great. Okay. I need to put in my headphones. So that works easily. Sometimes, aha, it's working. Okay, so we're here. We're gonna go here. I'm also gonna start it here so I can see you guys. But I'm gonna keep my dude. Okay, I'm gonna keep my messages over here. Got some messages. Okay, sisters are starting to tune in. Before I let you in, I'm not going to join with computer audio. Continue without audio. Okay, wow, y'all get two of me. This is strange though, because I want this to be, there we go, awesome. And now I want to do a little bit of music so I can welcome y'all with something beautiful. Dun, 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 dun. Share screen, advanced music, share. Let's see what this is. Yep, there we go. Charlotte's here. Just gonna give you guys a minute. Got a couple more of you guys come in. Moon and Aquarius energy. Mm. Business. So that's the question that I have. I wonder if it's echoing. Interesting. Okay. I was going there. Ta-da. New candle, new moon, new energy. Checking. Okay, I'll respond to this queen later. 4 people entered the room. All right, let's make this screen big and let's let them in. Yoo-hoo! Amazing. Can you guys hear the music? Cool, and you can hear me. Fantastic. There's 2 of me. I've found a way to double myself. Yay, the sisters are coming. What a beautiful impromptu new moon, by the way. It is new moon, and we decided to host this amazing ceremony on the new moon. And it's thundering and it's lightning, and it literally just happened as I was setting up the portal to get ready for you guys. Like thunder. You hear it? Oh my gosh, it's like shaking. Wow. So nuts. Okay, beautiful. Hi, everyone. Beautiful, amazing, divine sisters. I'm going to pause my video on this one. So that way it's less confusing and I can just look here. But I wanted to be able to see you all on my screen. Happy new moon, beautiful new moon energy, amazing divine sisters. Thank you all so much for making it here on this very auspicious day and a very interesting time. Super curious to see who will be able to be here. I'm hoping that our sister Cami, she was able to make it. Oh, good, beautiful, beautiful. So I called this meeting, this gathering of the witches. Let me turn down my background music for a couple reasons. And the first reason is that I've been speaking to several of you individually, and there's been mega shifts that you guys have been going through. And I could feel that. I could feel it in my own life. I could feel it in the container. And then when I spoke into each of you, some of you shared little pieces, like so much is coming up right now. And I wanted to create this ceremony before I even realized that Thursday was the new moon. What I had tuned into with the astrology, and I know several of you study the astrology, there's a big shift that we just went through, a big portal on Tuesday and Wednesday, which was bringing up a lot of old fears and a lot of old beliefs on kind of what we've been journeying through. And a lot has been coming up this last week in general, a lot has been coming up. And this new moon is a very, very powerful time to really kind of step into and transition into the vibration that we're calling in any aspect or any area of our life. So I was inspired by Vanessa because she was like, I wanna play and I wanna do ritual and I wanna set up an altar. And I'm like, perfect. What a beautiful, amazing opportunity to sit with you ladies and to have a ritualistic space and to have an altar and to kind of dive into this practice together and to create this sacred space and to anchor in, to deepen a little bit more into not only ourselves first and foremost, not only this container and this constellation, this portal, this web that we are all weaving as pillars, as leaders, as women who are standing for something bigger, but also for the collective, because there's a lot happening, as we all can know and we can all feel. So how this is going to go. First, I want to know, give me a thumbs up if you guys have altar stuff. Do you guys have altar stuff with you or close to you? Yeah, some kind of a little bit. Can you, if you want to gather some, if you don't yet have them and you want anything, Cami, whatever you have, whether it's a pencil or whether it's just your heart, like we're going to give Cami a little bit of space to talk as well. I want her to be able to share some of, and we'll all share a little bit about what's been coming up for us. But if you want to, even if it's just grabbing a candle, or even if it's just holding space, being the masculine, holding a pillar, what I really saw today, as Vanessa had asked, she said, you know, altars is new for me. And I know for some of us, it's new. And for some of us, maybe you've been doing it for a while. Maybe you already have altars around your house. Several of you saw my post the other day, which was about honoring the divine and really seeing my self-pleasure as a practice of honoring the feminine and honoring this temple that so often we shame, we neglect, and we ignore and we disconnect from rather than connecting. And so creating a sacred space and creating altars around my house and around my living space has been a beautiful reminder for me to continue to come back to myself and to continue to come back for my vision and my what it is I'm holding, what it is I'm leaning in for, what it is I'm living for, honoring the divine, worshiping the divine. And really for me, an altar is a prayer space. And I've lived in all different countries from around the world, and I've studied all different types of religions and backgrounds. And there's something incredibly transformational about the intention of having an altar. Yeah, I see Dee's nodding. She's like, yep. It just sets this ground for sacred space to be in the field. And in Bali specifically, there's altars everywhere. They literally have altars in every house, in every restaurant, in every building. And they're praying constantly. They're constantly praying. Every morning they come, literally every morning they come, they have their offering, they offer it to the goddess. They pray, they hold space for themselves. They set their day through their altar. And so I thought that with Vanessa's beautiful invitation, and this is what's so beautiful about this space also, you guys, you all add something to it. And if you speak something or say something, it brings up an invitation to create together, to create something new and magical. So I wanted to just first set an altar with you guys. So if you have your altar stuff, or if you want to grab some altar stuff, or if you don't have altar stuff, that's also okay. But I would love to just anchor in for a moment this very special day and coming in. Wow, we have so many of you. This makes me so happy. Wow, so beautiful. So before we anchor in, I just want to briefly overview some things that you can have for your altar. And specifically, Cami, I'm thinking of you so much right now because I know that you're in, wow, I can't wait for you to be able to have some space to share some of what you've been transitioning through. But I want to speak about, you know, what you can have in an altar and where you might put an altar. For me, I have them all over my house. I literally have my nightstand as an altar over there. Yeah, yeah. I have an altar in front of my bed over here. I also have another altar, which my computer's on over here. I work on an altar. Like literally, I have my little symbols open. I have my money over here with my little, crystal sitting on top of it. You go out into my living room. There's a huge altar on the floor. There's one on, like, they're literally everywhere. And it is a reminder to me that every day is a ceremony. An altar can be anything. It can be nature. It can be a candle, just a single candle that you go to and that you pray to every day, or you become present. It doesn't even have to be a prayer. It can just be you dropping in with yourself, being present. If you have cards, which we're going to use some of my cards today, I'll pull one for the collective. All kinds of cards that you guys can buy. You can use money. Money is a great thing to have on your altar for sure. Just calling in the codes of abundance. um, I find little things throughout my travels. So little pieces of, it could be, I literally have a postcard, a Lakshmi postcard that somebody gave me 6 years ago, maybe even 7 years ago now, that from India, from my first trip to India. And I would carry that thing with me, just a postcard, and I would literally set it up on my nightstand anywhere I would go around the world. And it's sat there. That's a sacred item. So it doesn't have to be something expensive. It doesn't have to be something extravagant. You, of course, can have crystals and stones. You can have your pleasure toys, because we love to worship and to honor the divine. So I have literally on both sides of my altars, I have stones on this side and then all my pleasure toys on the other. We have cleaners that come and clean. And they like clean them every day. I wonder if they really know like what they are. I don't ask, but I am curious about that. So you can have little items and little symbols like this. And then tinctures. And this is something really fun. If you ladies want to get even more dropped into your feminine and start to be a little bit witchy, and maybe some of you already do. I have a feeling some of you already do. But you can play with tinctures and you can make herbs, and you can literally go on YouTube and start to learn how to work. Yeah, I had a feeling you did, Dee. I knew it. I knew it. So you can do all you can do all kinds of stuff with herbs and working with plant medicine. There's so many rituals that you can do, and that I love doing. I think I'll do a whole course one day with just rituals, like money rituals and flower essences. And the most important thing is the prayer that you put in. And when you work with Mother Nature, and it doesn't matter what you pick, it could be a flower, it could be a special herb. There is something about literally playing with the alchemy and putting the intention into the process of creating something. So I have this tincture, which I literally made 3 years ago. And it has different herbs that work with our hormones. So feminine hormones, there's kava in here, there's shatvari in here. It's been so long. I think there's two other herbs that work with cycles. And so I've literally carried this around, and I take this, every once in a while. I'll just take this as a reminder for me to drop in. Moon cup. Yes, Charlotte says she even puts her moon cup. Beautiful. I have this little chalice that I put my blood inside often. Obviously it's clean now because I'm done menstruating, but I'll even put that on my altar. It's cleansing over here. It's like she's with us right now. She's with us. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but so one more thing. Money bag, money ritual. So the gods, in India, there's a lot of worshiping Lakshmi. So when we get to work with goddesses and gods, these are basically energetic frequencies. In Eastern religions, they don't see God as somebody in the sky who we have to bow down to and say, thank you, please forgive me for my sins. They see the gods and the goddesses as archetypes, as aspects of ourselves that we've forgotten. And so when we allow ourselves to give reverence and gratitude for whether it's Shiva, who's helping us pierce through and penetrate all the bullshit that's coming up in our lives and in our personal story, or whether it's Lakshmi, thanking this divine fucking mother of life that is constantly giving, constantly abundant, or Ganesha for helping remind us that we can get rid of whatever obstacles in our way. When they chant mantras and then they move in ceremony and prayer spaces, they often have these symbols or these gods and these goddesses that they would pray to, as especially if you're going through something challenging. And so, Cami, it reminds me of you maybe getting a Ganesha. I wish I could send this to you. So I'm sending this to you energetically. Ganesha is here holding it down for you as you're journeying through this really big transition that you're in right now. So these are things, you know, in the beginning, I would even print things off. Like if you don't have to go out and get things, they will come to you, just be open to receive. So my invitation, my loves, is to have your little altar items. And if you have them, awesome. If you don't, that's also awesome. And I'm going to put on one song. And I really invite you, even if you just hold space in meditation, what we're going to do is we're going to create a collective prayer altar or a collective prayer field. So even if you don't have altar items, it's okay. I wanted to give a brief intro of what can anchor in your prayers and your ritual and your ceremony, and how this can make a difference in every aspect of your life. And we're going to spend an entire song either just being still and feeling the sisters intentionally place their objects with mindfulness. Think about this. This is the new moon, yeah? And we are moving through very, very deep, pivotal, transformational times. Energetically, we just came out of 2 days of deep childhood wounding that was coming up in order for us to clear. New moons are perfect times to really anchor in what it is that we're setting our intention to call in. And in this ceremony, we will open up a sacred space so that we can truly synchronize our energy with the highest self cosmic consciousness energy, with the collective prayer field of each and every single one of the sisters who are here, and any sister who is not here, so that we can be reminded of our own true divine nature, so that we can be reminded of our strength, and so that we can be reminded that we are in this together, and that the way that we show up for ourselves each and every day is truly making a ripple in the energetic frequency that is transcending and connected to the intergalactic web that is around this planet and the entire solar system. So with that, let's all take a deep breath together. Deep breath in. And let the day and the week go. Exhale. Let's do 2 more audible breaths together. Just imagine like the pulse that we're breathing in. And with your sisters, exhale. Feeling yourself drop even more deeply into your body. Take 1 more deep, beautiful breath in. And exhale. Okay. So I'm going to put on a song, and your invitation is just to know that we are all here creating our magic. You can set up your altar if you have one, you can light a candle, or you can just be the masculine, and you can hold space by just being present for the magic that is being created through ritual. Let me find a better song here. Here we go, moon ceremony. And just hold the meditation, or just hold this space. And whatever you do, really use this as an opportunity to set your intention for what it is that you're calling in. Really breathing in. There we go. And in this moment, I just want to give gratitude to the feminine, to the voice of the feminine that called us all here tonight to be here, to show up, creating a field of energy around each and every single one of the sisters here tonight. opening up this space for whatever wants to come through, aligning with the highest self, with the divine feminine frequency that is guiding each and every single one of us. It is in this moment that we create this sacred space in all of the time and spaces. We create this web and this field. Just breathing into where you are in your life right now, what's moving through you right now. Imagining that there is something deeper that's happening in this space. And in this circle, if you have any cards, I invite you to pull them out. I know some of you have them. If you have them, I invite you to just create a card for all of us, and maybe we can read that in just a moment. Calling in the goddess that will support the collective in this circle. Taking another minute just to be with whatever is present. If you're finished setting up your altar, just hold the witness, the consciousness, the presence of this moment. Feeling the music. Feeling the magic, ceremony, of devotion, the power of prayer. And holding in the vision of what it is that you're calling in this new moon. And really feeling what it is that you're calling in. And feeling that being held by this weave, this web. Mm. Just taking one more deep breath together. Amazing. Coming into this space whenever you're ready. Wow. So beautiful. And just looking at your sisters for a moment. I love that Sarah's got the moon in the background. It's like we can feel that energy with us. Yeah. Just really honoring all of you sisters. Just really honoring your presence. And how I would love to see this happening next is I pulled a card for us, and I'm going to let this be known at the end of the circle. I know Sarah has to go relatively early. She has a work. Anyone who has cards, let's start with anyone. Does anybody else have cards that they want to read a card for the circle? Yeah, Dee, go for it, sister. Bring it to us.
Well, and I have to leave because I have to drive. So
Okay.
I pulled 2 cards for the circle today. Great Mystery, which is original source, back to the divine feminine, ladies. I don't even have to read that. And a beautiful dragon card about your destiny. And that card is just reclaiming what is yours. Recognizing your gifts, stepping back into it, feeling that connection, loving yourself. Yes. So.
And the divine has spoken.
And she has spoken.
And she has spoken in so many ways. Beautiful. I knew you'd have some cards. I had this feeling. Dee's on it. She's on it. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, Queen. Charlotte, she says she has some cards. Give it to us, baby. What you got?
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm just doing with what I've got. I've actually set up my own little altar because I'm currently away.
Amazing.
So
I do that all the time. Yes, sister. Yes.
So I got like a little goddess. I pulled 3 cards for us. I got the soul family, so call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. And then I also have wait, postpone, pause, and say no, which is amazing because that like literally connects us all down to the like divine feminine and learning to set boundaries and like step into our divine like womanlyhood and having a strong divine feminine energy, which is amazing. So yeah, they definitely feel an alignment for me.
You know what's interesting? So I think I sent it to Dia. I'll have to put it in the group for everyone. Right now, February, one of the astrologers that I listen to has said that February is all about freezing. So it's literally about, sounds good, Dee. You're here with us. February is literally like the best thing to do is to freeze, to pause, to wait. This is not the time to do. This is the time to be, to wait. And that's it goes very along with what you call, Charlotte. There's a lot of karmic shit. There's a lot of stuff that is coming up and coming to the surface right now. And so this is a beautiful time. If you want to take action on something, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling frozen, just allow the feminine. If you don't feel like moving, I've heard a lot of people say that they feel tired, including myself lately, that I just don't have a lot of energy. I'm not really motivated. The wisdom of the feminine is not to push through that. The wisdom of the feminine is to be like, okay, I'm feeling this energy. As long as I'm there's nothing in my personal sphere that's the reason. It's not like I'm going out partying and, or something like to be tired. Just listen, just feel yourself. So that was beautiful. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Thanks for calling those for us. Yes, Esther. Yes.
Hey, beautiful lady. So great to have this call. and you all. Am I in the picture?
You are, baby.
Yeah, okay, okay. So I pulled two cards, and before I pulled, I really felt the calling that I first have to pull a card for my own connection. And from there, a card to connect with all my sisters. And it's really beautiful. The cards have never supported me in such an amazing way lately that I only can believe it. So my first card is for myself. It's listening to my own body. And I really feel it, like my mind really wants to surrender in this community. And I'm constantly, before this call is happening, I'm like, okay, what am I going to say? What am I going to share? And actually, the only thing I feel, I want to be in my body and share from that space. And it's really about being. So I can feel like my heart is beating here, and it's like my body wants to, or my mind wants to surrender like it has never done before. And I only have to be. I feel I don't have to talk too much. Anyway, then the cards for my sisters and connect with them. It's really beautiful. It's this card. It says shining bright, and I shine my light and let my creative life force, allow my creative life force to shine bright. And then it says here, I celebrate also the light from my sisters, because we are all goddesses with so much creative power. We want to express and share, and we want to enjoy each other. Wow, isn't that beautiful?
Wow, amazing. Thank you for channeling that to those exact two cards that were so perfectly fitting for us and for you as well.
Amanda,
Yes, Charlotte.
I forgot to actually show you my cards. That they're the ones.
Oh, wow.
Can you see?
They're beautiful.
Just so you all knew what the cards were. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. Does anybody else have any divine channeling that wants to come through on this? Yes, Katarina, go for it, sister.
Hello. These are actually cards I got from Amanda. So when I saw it, I knew these are my cards. And then I got it to my birthday as a gift from Amanda. So her energy is also in it. And before we started the Women's Circle today, I put a card for our group, and it's the possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. And what is coming through for us is the possibilities. We are so stuck sometimes in our mind, and we think what we have to do or what we should do or about what we could do, and the mind is so small. So we need to just to shut down, to open up, to go in the feminine, into the being, and just to open up and let everything happen, because it's everything limitless. And when we are going into our divine feminine, into the yin, then we can just receive all the messages through the frequencies of the divine feminine, through just being, because it's so limitless and we can have everything. And sometimes we don't even know from our mind, but it just comes through, even we don't know, because we still don't know, but it's just the frequency. And when we receive this frequency in and connect to it, then the possibilities will come. It's not about looking for something in the outside. It's more about to get the frequency, to connect to it, to plant the seed, and then just to believe that everything to the right timing will come to us, all the possibilities, and everything is possible. There is nothing what has limits, because we have just the limits in our minds. So open up for new things and it will come. Just connect to the frequency.
So beautiful. Thank you for that amazing gift and those words, those channeled words. It's you know, part of what I want to do today is we'll spend some time in this, and then we'll spend some time sharing. And then I really want to create just a little small embodiment practice, because I really truly believe that the feminine is the feeling, the feminine is the embodiment, right? The feminine is the thing that literally births life into this world. And we so often, and I see this a lot, we try to come from the mind, we try to come from understanding. And the mind and the masculine in general is really fucking freaking out right now. Like, if we were to come from the mind right now, like the economical system is failing, the medical system is failing, you know, the monetary system is freaking out, like everything, the structures that to travel, like everything is freaking out right now. And the feminine knows chaos, because she is what, like, birth is fucking chaotic. And any of you know who have children, it's like that is a whole process in and of its own. It's messy, it's challenging, it's also expensive, you know. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's, and the whole process is, it's a journey, you know. And so I really feel that, you know, feminine, all of us are leaders here. And to what Katarina just spoke into, we live in a dualistic experience, which is both masculine and feminine, which is both structure and chaos, which is both both are needed, both are necessary for this evolution. And if we really truly want to take ourselves to the fifth dimension, or to the next level, or the next vibration of what is possible, we get to come. I mean, I have a feeling that the whole financial system right now is going to go through, it already is, but it's going to go through a huge shift, because the way that it has been working, it hasn't really been working, and it's been kind of covered up, and now it's really not working. You know, there's a lot of stuff that gets to come up to the surface right now, which is what I feel the whole COVID thing is. So how do we stay focused on what it is that we're calling in the future of more connection, more heart-based, deeper experiences, more fulfillment in our everyday lives, more fulfillment in the lives of others? I mean, so many of us here want to be in service, and we want to be in service of helping support, lift the vibration. So how do we do that? Through our bodies. This is why I believe self-pleasure is the code. And no, it is not always pleasurable. Some days I lay on my back and I'm literally don't want to do anything. I just want to roll over and go back to bed. So what do? I put my hand on my womb, I put my hand on my heart, and I just breathe. And some days this is where I sit, and this is all I do. And some days maybe I, you know, start to rub my chest a little bit, and then maybe that turns into just a little bit of breast massage, and maybe that's it. But at least I'm still showing up and putting this love and this intention and this care into this divine vessel, which was literally my gift from God, Spirit, creator of all that is. And yeah, so Katarina, thank you so much for reading that and for sharing that. And says it's Kali on a rampage, destroying everything that isn't love. Yes, 100%. And this is why I think so many of us, like, the feminine is more comfortable in chaos. We get fucking chaos. We have chaos all month, you know, like you know, and depending on where you're at and your sign and your hormones and your charts and your human design, all this stuff, it's like we get it. We get it. We can actually do quite well, which is why I believe there is a rise of feminine leaders. So this is why we get to embrace these experiences. So speaking of chaos and speaking of dissolving, we have a dear sister in the room, and she was kind of the initiator. So she was the initiator of me really feeling into, along with several of you others. Sarah, I hear that you need to head out in a minute. I hear you, I feel you. Let me give the floor to Cami, and if you're still around, Sarah, then we'd love to hear and to feel you. And if you're not, there will be the recording, and you can always put us in your back pocket, maybe on your work break or something. But it was this woman who I hadn't felt her in a while, and I was like, what's happening? What's going on? Where you at, sister? Like, some of you get my little nudges. Where are you at? I just want to make sure I feel you, you know, like, and it's all coming from love. Just like, hey, if there's something that wants to come up or something that wants to be shared, like, this is such a beautiful space, and sometimes we're just really busy. And this is a space where all things are welcome. So this sister, I want to give you the space to speak and to share anything. You can be seen in any way that you want to be seen. You can share anything that you want to see and share. And I want you just to know that we're all here for you. and that we are holding this portal for you, and that this is your tribe, and that this is your sisterhood. So, beloved Cami, whenever you feel you want to share, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone. So can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Yes. First of all, I'm really, really happy to be here because I'm feeling you, sisters, and it's feeling so good to feel you all. Thank you, Amanda, for holding this space. So it's going to be a bit emotional. So, sisters, Amanda know it already. It's about like it was in the night from the 4th of the 5th, like almost 1 week ago. My friend's boat burned in a big fire, and we were on it. So I was woke up by this much, and then it was just like very fast and how to survive. So we jumped out from the boat, and we lost everything. So it's very, very interesting to live. It's hard too, but that's life. And we are alive, so I'm so grateful for that every day. Every time I have a thought, like a negative thought or some sadness or anger sometimes, I'm just like, yes, I'm feeling alive. I am alive, and that's amazing. Otherwise, I will not be able to feel all of that. So when you are talking about the feminine, the receiving mode, and everything, this is kind of what I am experiencing right now, without a choice, but this is it. And yes, so that's what was happening to me, and this is why I wasn't present in the platform and everything, because it's kind of hard with the phone and everything for the moment, but I made it today and I'm so glad. And so yes, thank you, Amanda, for letting me being here with you all. And it's really important to me to be here in the circle and to have a possibility to reach out with you. So this is my story for today.
If we can all just maybe put a hand on our heart and just really feel, Cami. Just really feel what the sister has just gone through. Losing all the things, all the little things that we so often can cling to or to attach to, but in one moment that it's disappeared. And as we hold the sister in our hearts and we think about sometimes maybe our own challenges that we have, because we all have them, different times, different moments, frustrations, sadness, anger, pain, confusion. Maybe just remember that in any moment, everything can disappear. And maybe just imagine that there's this golden light coming from our heart to Gami so that she can really feel from all angles that she's so deeply loved and held and supported. And that this is her space to be however she wants to be, however she gets to be, however she can be. But we don't expect her to be anything other than just who she is. And may we just create this as a reminder that this is our space together, that all parts of us are welcome. And just holding this beautiful sister as she moves through this really, really deep transition, not having a single thing. And I just want to create the invitation that if, Kemi, if you need anything, that we are here, that we're all here for you in whatever way we can be, and that this is an invitation for you to ask for anything that you need. And may we just all hold her in our hearts. And Kemi, I want to ask, is there anything that we can do as a tribe? Is there anything that any of us can do? Anything that you need, anything that you would like, anything that would feel good for you?
Thank you. It's kind of hard for me to ask and to know what I especially need, because I need the most everything. But first, this space is the secret space is already a lot, and we are gonna make my best friend who is in France. She's gonna make a lychee stuff. I don't have the word in English, like fundraising. So I can share the link with you, and feel free if you can't give anything, or if it's just like €1 or I don't know, it's really feel free to help it just if you want to. That's not an obligation, and this is for the boat and of my friend and for me too, because here people are helping a lot, really a lot. I feel all the support. They were giving us clothes, they were giving us some food, a roof over our head. So that's amazing. And they are collecting a bit money, but it's for my friend because she lost like 45,000 euros and more. So she lost more than me. So I'm not taking the money from the people here, just the clothes and the food for sure, but it's not the money. And so I've lost my stuff too, like my computer, my books, my teaching and everything, and my money too, because we live with cash, so it was a big fire. And so this is this lychee stuff. It's for helping me to rebuild a bit my life and to finance my retreat, like the Pleasure Academy, like my yoga teacher training too. So, sisters, if you want to help, I'm going to send you the link and feel free to help.
Thank you, and thank you for asking. Thank you for it's kind of hard for the feminine sometimes to like ask, like especially when we're vulnerable. It's really hard, and this is the beauty of the feminine. She gets to receive, and so please post that in the group, and just know that you're so deeply supported, and that you get to learn how to receive from the universe, and that we're all here for you in so many different ways. And so thank you for being so brave and so bold and so grounded and so, just centered. I remember talking to you the day after, and I'm just like, how is this woman have her stuff together so well? I don't understand. I would be a mess. So yeah, I know that you've had your waves, but I just want to say that I see you, and that we see you, and that we hold you, and that we're here for you. And if anybody obviously here wants to reach out personally and privately to Kemi, you can do so as well. Obviously, that's always obvious. Blessings to you, sister. Happy that we could be here for this part of your journey, truly. Yeah, really. So my loves. Yeah. I would love to just feel you guys a little bit. If somebody wants to share anything, just let's feel each other a bit. So take the floor, whoever feels like they want to share, whether it's in response to Cami or what's happening in your life or the container or thank you, Dee. Super happy to have you here. Good to feel you. Yeah, so who wants to share? Anything is welcome. There's no format here. You can just unmute yourself. Anything that's coming up in your personal life in the, whatever it is. Charlotte.
Cami, oh my God. I was a wreck there when she was telling me. I just want to send so much love. That's been probably one of my biggest fears ever, to be on a boat, and for something like that to happen, and for you to actually, like what you've just said there, Amanda, to actually have your shit still together. I would literally I'd have been such a baby and just spat my dummy out, and I wouldn't have even been able to actually even attend this call because I'd have been in such a devastating state. But yeah, I just want to quickly jump on and just say I honor you to be able to show up and to actually have the courage to ask for help, because it takes a lot of balls to actually say I need help. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to say that, and I'm more than happy to help.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. Thank you.
You are.
Yes, and go for it, babe.
Cami, seriously, wow. Look, I grew up on a farm, so if you look at how life works with fire is literally a destruction so that a rebirth can happen. So as much as this is devastating, considering where you were at before this fire, just before the fire, a part of me has this almost nervous excitement in my womb, in my belly for what's coming, the beauty that's going to come your way now, considering the devastation that this is. It can only birth magnificence. So I'm holding that for you, my love.
And so I felt like you wrote that, and it was a book that you just wrote and you just shared, especially with your beautiful accent and everything. So beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else want to share anything? Anything at all? Can be personal, can be experiential. I'd love to hear at least a couple words from everyone about anything. Cami knows that we're here, and I wanted to. She was the.
I just want to say, sorry.
Yeah. No, go for it.
Sorry, carry on. I didn't. I was just going to say, with Andrew saying about rebirth, I feel that this year is definitely going to be a rebirth for so many of us, not just like us in this container, but just as a collective. Like when I think of a word for this year, rebirth screams at me. So I also agree with Ange.
Aho to that. Yeah. We are rebirthing together. And we're also the leaders, where we are leading. Like I was talking to several women today or wanting to do some one-on-one work with me. And one of the things that I feel like is so important, as feminine embodied leaders is to really, truly practice embodiment, to practice loving ourselves, to practice honoring ourselves, to practice caring for ourselves in the way that we show up for ourselves. And as leaders, whether you're a leader in your family or a leader at your work or a leader in your community, the biggest thing we can do is really practice feeling our feelings, practice moving through our feelings, practicing honoring ourselves and loving ourselves in every single way. So super beautiful. Yeah, I would love to hear. I'm gonna just call on someone. Yes, Esther.
I'll
Perfect. I don't
share.
have to call.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll
Oh
share.
wait, Sarah, and then Esther, because Sarah's going to work, so I don't know how much time she has. Perfect.
Yeah, I was like, I just feel so horrible leaving, and I was like, I'm joining back in the car. My phone is
Yeah.
put up on a stand. I'm not touching it, just to guarantee people. Yeah, I've been very out of it the past couple weeks. Yeah, I've just been feeling a lot. But I got my period this week, and I always feel really happy on my period. It makes me feel super alive. And I did the ritual last night, the blood ritual. I want to attempt it again, like in my own space, not like watching it, which I think is the purpose more so. But it's hard because I don't really think it matters, but I just don't like bleed enough to get it in a cup or anything. So I feel like that part, I guess like putting it on my stand, like that's the part I'm missing out on. But I just always feel so tingly and airy and spacious when doing these rituals. And that like what comes up for me the most, for sure. I'm still trying to like take deeper journeys, which I think is a problem with me, again, with the just patience and sitting with myself. Like I'm still really working with that, but I can really appreciate like the surface, at least as of now.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, Sarah. You spoke into a couple pieces there, like the yes, like all of these practices, the intention of the recorded content is to give you a structure so that you can take it into your own practice and deepen. It's like, here's how I do a ritual. Now that I've done it once or twice, now I know how to kind of embellish and create it and deepen. And you'll be amazed at how much will come up for you when you just make the second piece that you spoke into, Sarah, is the time and having patience and really carving, because this is the biggest thing, ladies. Like we have to make time for ourselves, for our pleasure, for our practices. Nobody in the world will ever give you the time to say, here, babe, why don't you go self pleasure? It's that time. No, everybody's going to tell you that you need to be doing all different kinds of other things. And that's what's going to make you feel successful, happy, whatever, lovable, etc. So you spoke into a couple pieces that were really beautiful. And I think, really great additions just to the importance of and how this journey is structured for all of us. So thank you, and thank you for coming back on, Sarah, and thank you for sharing. Also, do you use a moon cup, or I know you're on birth control? Do you use a moon cup?
Is that like a diva cup kind of sort of deal?
Yeah.
I actually just use very light liners. It's so light where it's almost non-existent, which is amazing, but at the same time, this period has been very painful for me, which it usually isn't. So that's why I feel like a lot is happening in the universe, because I can really feel it in my womb, and I usually don't feel my cramps that intensely. So I feel like I can really feel like everything expanding within me, which is huge. But also, I just wanted to speak into Cami for a second. I did miss some of her story, but I just want her to know that I'm feeling her and holding her and manifesting so much abundance and love for her. And like Ange and Charlotte said, I think this is like a new start for her and a rebirth. And we're just here for her in any way possible. I just really wanted to speak into that for a second as well. Makes me emotional. So yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for sharing.
I'm gonna log off now because I'm gonna get to work soon, but I just had to hop back on.
We love you.
Love you, ladies. Bye.
Awesome. Okay, Miss Esther, beloved sister, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for this space and for all your beautiful words. It really is very soothing. Yeah. I also felt the call to react on Camilla. Yeah. Oh my God. It's. I'm. I'm. I'm imagining like everything burning away, and it make yeah your story also makes me realize how yeah to um, how to say to appreciate it again what is here. I feel, and yeah, there's of course I feel with you. In the same time, I also feel yeah everything happens for a reason. Not to be hard, but I also feel it for myself going through a lot of stuff. So definitely feeling with you, and from there I feel some curiosity coming up because I know you're a strong and powerful woman, and yeah, how you show up here, I really wow, I can see that you take responsibility for yourself, and I want to honor that, and in the same time being open here. That's yeah, that feels I really it feels very good to have you here. And this curiosity comes up in me. It's like, okay, so you have the experience from everything burning away literally in your life. And I'm like, I'm just, yeah, I'm curious, like in that moment, how, what, what, there's wisdom in that moment. Like, what is important for you in your life? And this is just a question. You don't have to answer it, but I can feel that there must be so much. I can feel like this killer instinct. And I experienced this killer instinct, which I will share about you a bit later. I can feel that this killer instinct was coming up for you. And the dark masculine, if I have it, if I'm talking in more concepts in theory,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think you felt it in your body. So I just wanted to ask you if uh, yeah, if you feel space maybe to share a bit about that. If you want to, you don't have to. That's it.
Beautiful question. Beautiful.
Thank you for this question. It's really, really good to think about it.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Exploring the masculine and feminine in Amanda deconstructed in the healthy and the detox and the dark feminine and the dark masculine. Do you remember that post of Amanda, or maybe you didn't do that yet?
I didn't read it yet. I read.
Doesn't matter. It can give you insight. So that's what I'm relating to that. It's called exploring the masculine and feminine. But yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
um,
I don't know.
so um, I can say that my masculine thoughts is so frustrated, like feeling with no power and everything, and wants to go to work, and my feminine is like, no, uh, I need to stop. You need to stop. You need to contemplate the nothingness. But
Yeah.
there's something to contemplate in the nothing. And it's like Angie said, I felt this rebirth. When all was burning, I was like, okay, all is burning, but I'm here, I'm alive, I can breathe and everything, and so all is possible. And it's like now you have nothing except yourself, and that's already a lot to have. And so I'm feeling so much power because like everything now is possible. And at the same time, sometimes I'm like, but how I'm gonna do it, you know? How I'm gonna do, but I have this feeling of trust. And I'm not feeling like the fire was happening for a reason, because I think there is no reason for this kind of stuff. But how I'm gonna, what choices I'm gonna make for my future, this is the thing. This is the important thing and the sign of life. So I don't know if I am answering your question, Esther, but this is how I live it. I'm living.
Yeah, yeah, that's the answer, that you really felt alive in that moment, like when everything was burning. And yeah, I can imagine that it's really like grounding in some sort of way. Of course,
Mm.
it's of course it's sad, and also there's space for it, you know, like
Yeah.
that really carried, and the frustration, and yeah. So thank you for sharing.
Mm.
Yeah, I hope you can tap into this aliveness and this power more often.
Mm. Beautiful, Esther. Yeah, beautiful question. Beautiful deepening. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm super curious to hear from both of the Vanessas. Does one of you two want to go next?
Can I pop in for a minute?
Please, yes.
Hi, I wanted to react to Camille a little bit, and I don't know if this is for you or if it isn't. Take what you need from it, but I just wanted to put out here that whilst I completely admire and honor your ability to look at the bright side of things and the potent part of things, you know, the kind of the expansion about it, I just wanted to say that you are also absolutely welcome to be the mess at times, when the mess comes and when there's the chaos and the just crying and being frustrated about it and feeling all the shit that is about the situation, because there's a lot of it. I mean, even the tiny stuff, like you might have had a t-shirt that you really loved and you lost that and you're fucking angry about it. All of the, come as you are, even if you're not sorted out, I don't give a fuck, because you have the whole right. Just wow, you've just got your whole stuff burned down. I can't imagine what that must be like. And I just want to say, no matter what state you are in, I welcome you and I admire you, however you deal with it. And just, wow, wow, all my words. Wow, I just thank you for being with this hugeness in this container, and thank you for sharing. And I wish you strength, and I wish you, I don't even have the words. I just appreciate you so much. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you, because it's kind of my work to allow myself with the anger and everything, because yes, I lost everything. So thank you for reminding me that, to allow myself to feel that side.
Fucking ho to that. Which, by the way, when you tap back into the material, is a really powerful emotional release. Who's done the emotional release ritual yet? Has any of you done it? Yeah, Vanessa did it. Esther did it. Okay. And you haven't done it yet? Oh, okay. So and both everybody, like, this is, next time, like, how to let's Vanessa, I'm curious how it was. We haven't heard from you yet. I'm curious how it was for you when you did the emotional release ritual. What came up for you? You want to share? Yeah, yeah.
Amanda, you were speaking to me? This
Yes,
Vanessa?
baby. Yeah. Yeah. You're the one who raised your hand and said you did it. So
Yeah,
you're
sure.
next. Yeah.
First of all, I was also a little bit speechless regarding Camille's story, and wow, I was even crying, and I felt you so deeply, and I could also feel this pain inside you that has to come up. And as Christina already said, I think there's also frustration and anger. And before I answer your question, Amanda, I want to say, really, if there's something I can help you with, I'm super happy to do so. And please share it on our community side, on our sisterhood side, and I'm more than happy to help you, really. I think this happened to me also during the emotional release ritual, because I did it in terms of anger, speaking to anger and so on, because I really have problems to feel anger. I'm always a little bit like, love and light and Little Miss Sunshine. And I really have problems to feel anger coming up. And this ritual really helped me a lot. And I did it the day when I went to this, I shared it a little bit when I went to this fertility center and met this doctor who was like completely ignoring me. And I felt like the first night when I came home, I started to rethink, and I started, did I do something wrong? Did I mention something she didn't understand? I took it on my side again, like it's my fault. Did I not mention what I want? And the next day it happened again. And she completely ignored my wishes and my desires. And on that evening, I was sitting here and I thought, what is it? What can help me now? And then I thought about this ritual and I did it, And I swear this pillow has been this doctor. And it helped me so much. Like, she was treated really hard with my anger, and it helped me a lot. And I think also, Camille, for you, this could be a really good ritual now and then in terms of feeling anger and frustration. And I really recommend to use a pillow or something. It really, really helps. And thank you for asking. And again, I'm more than happy to help you, Camille.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I think you and Esther actually probably have a similar vibration. Esther, I'm curious, like, I also, it could be my projection, but I also figure, Esther, you are like this good girl, you really try to be like happy and like make everybody else happy. I'm curious kind of what your experience was, and if it was similar to Vanessa's.
Well, thank you for your vibe, Vanessa. It was really nice to feel you here.
Yeah.
That first of all. Well, I have a story to tell, a chapter, and it happened this morning. And speaking about anger. So grab your popcorn and a tissue, because it's juicy and it's I'm hitting the rock bottom, and it's juicy and powerful, and in that I can also feel the pain turning into pleasure. So anyway, Kali in the house. Woo! So that's it. Okay, I'm gonna share with you. So when I'm doing the emotional rituals, it's not really happening, because it still feels I'm guiding it in a structured way. It feels like that. And this morning, I was doing self pleasure, and 2 days ago no, yesterday it was actually. Talking about orgasms. Sorry, I'm a bit messy. In November, I had my first orgasm and I used a kind of vibrator. And I was already like, I want to do it without using the vibrator. And especially the course also stimulated me to work more with stones and subtle vibrations to get more in this subtle energy body. Also what you were saying, that it can vibrators also can not be numbing, in a kind of way. So but it really helped me to to catch up a bit. And so yesterday, so I already put my vibrators aside to get more in the natural way. And I also wanted to drop them already in the garbage. But first I felt like, okay, first I want to do it natural. Now, yesterday it happened. And it felt so powerful to use my hands. It felt like the circle was round, like not something interrupting. Yeah. And that for me, that means a lot, because it with the vibrator, or it was a certain kind of vibrator. I don't know how it's called, but it felt more like I was pushing through a wall, like more like this. I was in the receiving mode and like pushing through it to get my mind out of the way. I could feel that. And yesterday I was in the receiving mode and I was with the Yoniac and having a good time. And then I could really feel that my hands are an extensions of my mind, and that my body wants to feel safe with me, and also with my hands. And yesterday I had to, things are happening in my life with relationships, and I have to show my boundaries and where I stand for, and it's all happening. And it's when I get in this state, in a more like being the bitch, like yeah, like which we did with the archetypes. I can really feel like it's not that I don't give a fuck about them, it's more like that I give a fuck about myself. So yeah, yesterday it was there, and another time it was like, yes, great. So that was yesterday. That made me, this morning I woke up, I want to do self pleasure, not necessarily with my genitals, but more like where I am. And I could already feel like two persons in my head where I need to take a stand and to set my boundaries and not give myself away, and really, yeah, it's deep. It's very deep. I will get to the point, because anyway, what happened this morning, I was trying to do the self pleasure, and then these persons came back into my head, and I have to, it's the father of my child, and it's one of my best friends, who's symbol for a lot of relationships of me. But with her I have this kind of codependency, and yeah, we have to let go of each other and find a new way of friendship. So and that's also with the father of my daughter. So it's happening anyway. And at some point I could really like feel, okay, so this is my path, and I could really like get my head out of the way and feel so much anger inside of me. Like I want to connect with my body. It's my body. And every time I'm splitting myself in two, and I cannot connect with my life force. And at that point I was already self-pleasuring myself for almost an hour, and these conversations were keeping back. Sorry for this intensity, but that's where I am. And then it happened, the rebirth. So Kali, rebirth, it's everywhere. I was like, I'm gonna grab my tool now because it's not working now. And I'm gonna motherfucker give myself pleasure right now. And I don't give a fuck. So I grabbed my beautiful pink tool. And then it felt so intense and so good in the same time. And I had a conversation with Mioni before, like, let's be a team, because I didn't want to hurt her. And it felt, and then this insight came to me, and it was after it felt good because I didn't want to hurt her. I thought, is this now anger and rage? I'm hurting myself. And I was like, no, I like this feeling of this intense, and I put all my energy there. And the music, I have an amazing playlist with this music, was like, yeah. And I was like screaming it out here. I don't know if the neighbors but I was like, I could feel how it is to be a guy and just penetrate the world. And the beautiful thing was, I was letting go everything and connecting like fully with myself. And in that, I was connected with life, all of life. It was like being egoistic is not a bad thing. And so one time, and then another time, and I was like, okay, one more time, 3 times. And then the music stopped, and then it was, I could feel the second time was it already. And then I could witness myself, okay, so this is the addiction of goals. And then I could say, okay, this was it. And I could feel I paved my way. I fucked my way open. And the big insight for me, and that's my, that was the big insight, is that I'm constantly saying my feminine needs to feel safe with my masculine. And after this, I could feel, but my masculine first has to feel safe with me, with my mind. And I could feel that there was never space for my masculine. And that's where I come from, where I grew up with my parents. My mother was very rigid. My father, it doesn't matter, but there was just no space. So I could not, there was no way to go that way. The only way I could go was back out of my body. And that was also what I felt with the first call in this sister group, that I'm still in this survival mode of feeling there's no space for me. And I can, this community, I could feel it's safe, and there is space also for my masculine. And now I paved the path with my masculine by putting all my anger in this orgasm. And now my feminine feels safe, and this is my killer instinct. So I know what you're talking about, and that was it. And I also have to say, this was happening this morning, and I already can feel my mind is like, is it really true? Am I not, and I already feel like the mental chatter coming in, but I know it. So it's very nice for me to share this with you, to anchor it in. Thank you for this space, because I know it was a big story and we only have 2 hours, but I can feel that I feel my starting point in life. I feel that I have how do you say that? I'm here.
Yay.
And now I can also be there for you more. And this.
It's wow.
I also Amanda, do you remember this one?
No, I can't see it. Hold it closer. Oh yes, 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 yes.
I got it from you in Nicaragua. You gave it.
No way, you still have that. Wow.
It's on my altar, and now I show it now to you because I can feel that my voice is starting to connect with my life force, and it's still like blah, blah, but it wants to come true, and it's like the green, it's so I just want to, I thought it was fun. So
It's so funny, Esther. I literally was thinking about that stone today, and I'm like, I gave that to someone. I literally was thinking, I was like, I gave that to someone. Who did I give that to? Because this is how stones go in my life. Like, and that was like what, 4 years ago or something like that. Wow, wow. I just have to say, babes, like it's so beautiful. Can who put your hand up if you can see and feel Esther's fucking transformation, and like you can feel this like blossoming and this like growing. Like, wow, babes. Like this is just a testament for you showing up to yourself. Like I really see you showing up. And I know we're all at different points in our journey, and I know that some of us are busier with school and we have our own stuff coming up. It's okay that your stuff comes up, and do the practices, do the tools. One of the things that Esther spoke into, I laughed when she said the bitch, because if you guys haven't yet done this, there's an archetypal play, and it's an embodiment archetype practice where you start to see where your resistance is to certain aspects of yourself, parts of you that you've denied, parts of you that you've repressed, parts of you that you've connected to, and this archetypal play really gets to show you where, where you're hiding parts of yourself or you're not embracing parts of yourself. And the truth is with archetypes, we have them all. And the ones that you think that you don't have, they're fucking hiding in the shadows, and they're probably playing out in your subconscious, and they're playing out in different aspects of your relationships. So, and this is going to be important because when we do on Sunday, which by the way, Sunday we have our lingerie party. And so yeah, if you can, even if you're just in panties, if you've got some panties, Camille, if not, I'll send you some money, go buy some panties for you so you can be with us in some sort of underwear, or not. You could also be naked. I also like naked. I have no issues with naked. So yeah, but what I want to do is I want to create this like fun kind of archetypal where we're going to do some dancing, and we're going to embrace different aspects of ourselves and our pleasure. And one of the invitations that I gave Esther when she joined us last week on the archetypes is to really embrace her inner bitch. And so for any of you who haven't like yet played with the archetypes or gone to that ritual, I invite you guys to go to that ritual and find which ones are harder for you to connect with. And from that space, you'll be able to pull more parts of you to the surface. Like one thing that I really see in Esther is she's coming more fully into herself. She was more back here, and now she's coming more here, which is what we need. We all need to fill this space, because this is really important for the evolution, for everybody who's involved, and for our planet and for everything. So Esther, great story. Thank you so much for sharing. And
I want to say, I want to give everybody permission to explore, because I can also really feel inside of myself to step into this inner bitch. I feel a little bit like, oh, am I not too much now? Like, but I know I have to go there to find the balance.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the process. And I really encourage you to go there. And I also feel now like, okay, I don't know. I will see this video back, and then I will take out what is still resonating. But I can also feel at some parts I'm a bit out of my balance. But I just allow it to be there, and because I know I need to go there to. But thank you for the space, and I can also feel like this structure is this new way of structure. It's like the masculine. I was asking the masculine in one of the videos, um, like it's supporting me, the structure of self pleasure. That's the only thing that's left, something like that. And it's every time I want to do it different, and when I then do it, all this rage come up and everything, and it's horrible. But oh my God, after the orgasm, it was quiet in my mind, crystal clear quietness.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you for sharing. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Charlotte, yes, but wait, I want to hear first. I really want to hear from Vanessa, the other Vanessa, who we haven't heard from yet, both Anne and Ange, and then just for space and time. So who wants to go? Anne? Yes, you can.
Can I ask something because Esther brought it in?
Yeah, of course, babes.
Okay, it's about the dark sides because I made the videos about the dark side, and I felt I couldn't go as deep as I want because I saw so many things that were dark, but in that instant that I watched them, they become light because if it's a dark thing that can be used for something or can be bringing love to somebody or to myself when I honor my boundaries or something like that, it in an instant feels like light. And so when I watch the dark side, I then think, okay, I will use it to bring love, and then it's light again. And so when I went into the bitch or tried to be a bitch, or then I thought, okay, have I now to hurt somebody to be that? Or when it goes to the doing, it was like, okay, it's okay to feel like to be it. So it's like an exploration, a game. But doing it felt simply senseless, or it was a negative, dark thing that I wouldn't do. And then I thought perhaps it's inside only as a possibility, but perhaps I have to dig deeper and do that. I don't know how to discover that negative dark side or what a shadow is. Perhaps I don't know what a shadow is.
Yeah, no, this is great. I love that you brought this in this space. So the idea of the practice is understanding that all of these aspects of our human consciousness live inside of each and every single one of us. And just because they're not a part of our personality doesn't mean that we don't have it. We are the thing that you hate about the person that you dislike the most, the thing that you're like, that person, that manipulative whatever over there, I cannot stand manipulative people. Well, we are all things. We are everything. We also have that manipulation aspect inside of us as well. And so part of this archetypal play is going within and feeling the energetic frequency of this character, and it doesn't necessarily mean that now you always have to, like, I love what Esther's doing because she's really allowing herself to go into, okay, actually these are all the times that I didn't honor my boundaries, and these are all the times that I was hurt or that I was upset and I didn't say anything and I played nice and I didn't allow myself to assert my dominance, and you will, or my darkness, because, and in that I hurt myself, and in that I wasn't being fully aligned in honoring my boundaries, which means I didn't fully honor the respect of the container, whether it was my children or with my ex or with my partner or whoever. So when it comes to, what we get to do is we get to find, like, what aspect, and this would be something that I would invite you to take with you, Anne, is like, how would the bitch potentially serve me? Like, how could the bitch actually protect me, serve me, and then therefore in protecting and serving, serve others around me? For instance, let me see if I can give an example. So for me, it's like the bitch's firmness. It's like, excuse me, you don't talk to my son that way. You don't talk to my son that way. Like, you can talk, or me, you don't talk to me like that. You can talk to me with respect, please. Like, I don't deserve to be speaking to, or nobody else. So it's like, when it's an energetic force. It's also like the strong masculine. So all of these things are in a pool together that you can kind of dissect out. But the shadow bitch, right? This shadow bitch is the passive aggressive bitch, the part that maybe pretends like that like nothing is wrong, but then slightly comes out under the table. Or the manipulative bitch, the one that like pretends that everything is light and love when actually she's really thinking a lot of negative thoughts inside her head. So it's kind of just like understanding that all of these aspects exist and they all are a part of us, whether we express them or repress them or not. And just kind of playing with this energetic, like, how could the bitch potentially really serve me? Or really serve the people around me. It doesn't have to be used as negative. And one of the things that I try to do, and especially in the tantric world, is we take away good and bad and negative and positive. Just go away, all those things. We just see things as they are, as a dualistic experience of the wholeness, which is divine, regardless of how we put it. Does that make sense? Does that support any, or do you have more on that?
Yes, I've seen how you do that. But when I see that, I also have the feeling when you use it like that, the bit it's white again. It's not
Sure.
dark. Does it feel dark to you when you do that?
So I think it just depends on like light and dark. Again, it's not good and bad. It isn't right or wrong. It's just a different energetic frequency. It's like the night has a different energy than the day. It doesn't mean that the night is bad, but it does mean that oftentimes people drink more and do more drugs oftentimes in the night because you're playing with kind of dark energy. And the light is you can see everything is out in the open. So if you're trying to hide stuff, it's going to be a lot harder to hide. So like one of the things that sometimes I can feel play out is this like good and bad, right and wrong, light is good, dark is bad, but that's what we get to disappear. No. It's all divine. And they both have, like, if you're out in the middle of, let's say I'm in the middle of Delhi and a smuggler is trying to take my bag, my fucking bitch is gonna come out and she's gonna be the one that's gonna protect me and my shit. Because it's like, excuse me, you don't don't try to fucking take my shit, like I'm gonna be the one that's like the bigger bear, and that's where the bitch is really fucking helpful. Or when I was a kid and these kids in school tried to jump me, like these girls tried to jump me, my inner bitch had to come out and say, like, listen, this is not fair. You can't try to jump me. I'm gonna act big and bad. It's protection. It's survival of the fittest also, in a way. Does that help?
Yes, it helps a lot, and I now know what the dark side means because I didn't have a clue about that.
Yeah.
Because I more see the frequencies, and they are so different that they don't have a common base, and now you gave them a common base, so I can see it better.
Yeah. And this is something, like, the more that you do, and especially those of you who can't feel anger, do the emotional release ritual. Do it and keep showing up for it. You will find it. And once you find it, like I always tell people, I don't fucking trust you if I can't feel your darkness. I can't trust you, especially a man. If I can't see your darkness, I don't trust you because it's there. And if you haven't learned how to access it, something will hit you at some point and it might just blow you off and something might react. But people who know they have darkness and can allow themselves to reach it, especially if they have tools, then it's like I can trust you a little bit more because I can feel kind of all aspects and parts of you. So I hope that I look forward to as you start to embody these pieces and these aspects more, how they kind of come out. Esther, real quick, because then I want to get to Vanessa and Ange. I want to make sure everybody has space to speak today before we end the call.
Well, the dark side, what I feel for me is that if I'm alone and I still feel I have persons in my head where I worry about or other stuff, I know I know I didn't come up for me that well, put my boundaries, and that's work for my bitch. So so that's what I wanted to bring in. So yeah.
Yeah, boundaries is good. Boundaries is where the dark is really boundaries and getting shit done and taking, like, for instance, with Cami, like when I feel your like I feel that the anger, and it's not a projection, it's not a victim. It's not like I'm gonna be a victim because why did this happen to me? That's powerless. But if it's like, fuck, dude, like the fact that this is a part of the human experience, like, I'm gonna feel it in my fucking belly, and I'm gonna use this as this rebuilding, this penetrative force to come back even stronger. Like, this is where we can really start to use this as a powerful tool. So I want to hear from Vanessa and Ange. Who wants to go next out of you two ladies? There you
Hello.
go. Hi, sweetheart.
Can I just not say anything? Can I just I just feel like being here feeling you, and that's all I need today. Is that okay? Is that selfish?
Of course. I mean, you can
I know
can be...
it's like I feel I have a lot of darkness, negative, and I don't want to. I just want to feel you. I just want to, because I haven't been feeling a lot. I mean, I've been in my head a lot, and I mean, I have been feeling a lot of negative, darkness, anger, all the, yeah, and I just need to like kind of being like that, like step back and take from you, if that is okay.
You can do whatever you want, my love. And
I know,
I know. All of you is welcome. The anger, the darkness, all of you is welcome. You don't have to be anything. You being here is enough. And if you want to speak, you have more than you can. And if you don't want to, that's also okay.
Yes, I know that. So thank you for that. I rather just to be just with you, just feeling.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you
for honoring yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
you. Okay, well then that leaves our sister Ange for the stage. Take it away, my love.
Hello, ladies. Oh, Vanessa, sweetheart. Oh, sometimes when I spew out, even when I don't want to talk, then it's like a burden shared. It's like, wow. So if you change your mind, I'm always here for you, babe. I must actually say, I did that, the water only fast. I did include green tea, as you saw from my post, the week leading up to my moon cycle. And wow, how connected. I felt so in tune with my body. What? It was incredible. And I mean, I did the yoni de-armoring, and Esther and Vanessa both said afterwards, like, I look different, my eyes look different. And I know what it is now, because I bloody well introduced food, and what happens? You can see my eyes are all puffy again. I have a gluten intolerance, which I've now discovered. And it all obviously came out with this fast. And what I've discovered is that remarkably, a very large percentage of the irritation I feel that I cannot explain or put down to anything that's external to myself that's triggering it, I think is actually coming from this inflammation caused from the gluten. Because the less I have, the less I actually want to kill my boyfriend, the guy. Seriously, I can feel the introduction of it all. I really did feel my rage, my irritation, all of it coming from inside, and for no reason. The poor man's offering to like make a hot water bottle for me, and I'm like, oh, fuck off. You're just irritating. And it's inside. There's nothing else. It's just inside. So it's actually been hard. The week after the fast, energies with the Mercury in retrograde and all of that, I really felt it was like everything all at once. And it kind of, it's in actual fact, I probably should have done the emotional ritual as it came through, because it was almost like perfect timing. But my old patterns and my victimhood, I should say, stopped me from going there. And it's now taking me longer to get the momentum back again. So today was actually perfectly timed again, because I feel that want to do it, the desire, the feminine in me is going, yeah, come on, babe, just do it. So I'm going to, but I'm not in a bad space. I just feel the collective heaviness, the sluggishness.
Yeah.
And the I think Esther actually put a post up yesterday about where we're at and how this container is changing us. And I do feel changed. And I love the change, even the bad and the sluggishness. The fact that I can stop and acknowledge that this is what's happening and I know exactly where I'm at it's like, okay, I'm not living in denial and trying to convince myself that the lie I'm feeding myself is real. I feel this connection to, even when I'm doing something that is not quite right. I'm not going to say bad, but not quite in service to my
Alignment.
higher self. Yeah. It's still, I can acknowledge it. And that acknowledgement alone means that it's okay. I can now move on with whatever I choose to do. And I choose happiness.
Oh, that's so beautiful. You said so many amazing things there. And first, I want to speak into inflammation. What does it say? Do more of what makes you happy. Messages from spirit. So yeah, I just want to speak into inflammation, and you're absolutely 100% true. Inflammation is something. So my background is as a nutritionist, and I worked a lot with people in health, in both mental disruptors as well as physical disruptors, physical ailments, and inflammation is huge. Inflammation is basically excess fire in the body, excess heat in the body. And what that does is, when we have excess inflammation, it inhibits the body's ability to run its natural systems. There's like, imagine that you literally have a fire and the fire is just growing, and the fire is always there. If the fire is always there, all of your personal reserves are going to go to trying to put out the fire. Your body's ability to heal itself naturally, you're not going to have the reserves to build new houses, aka new cells, or continue to fix the garden, or like whatever it is. If there's a fire encroaching on your house, all of your reserves is going to have to go to try to put out that fire. And so inflammation shows up for many, many people in many different ways, from physical to emotional to energetic to lethargy to, there's so many different ways that it shows up. And so it makes a lot of sense. And I just want to commend you, Ange, for your level of awareness and your level of just everything you spoke into, like your dedication. I also see you really showing up and doing lots of the practices, and all this is, babes, is it's an invitation for you to honor you. And this is why I have the structure the way I do. It's a masculine container, and that most so far the first 2 months were designed to give you all of the practices, but it's up to you to show up, to make that time for you, and ideally incorporate this as a part of your lifestyle. And this is what starts to shift the change, so that you can give your feminine more space in your everyday life. And so there are so many pieces that you spoke into, and one of the biggest things I think that everybody can put in their back pocket is this awareness of whatever, like, you feel yourself more deeply. You feel when you're in alignment, you feel when you're not in alignment, you accept all parts of you. You're not shaming parts of you. You're not shaming your emotions. You're not shaming if you're not showing up for yourself. You're not shaming. All of you is welcome just as you are. And the fact that you can be that consciousness and that pillar and witness, not get wrapped up in either side or either story, or the good or the bad or the right or the wrong, which is kind of the narrative that society teaches us. That's where you re-find your center. And that's where your consciousness can pave the way for where it is that you actually want to go, and how you want to live your life, in your friendships, in your relationships, in your sexuality, in your business, in your abundance, in whatever the fuck it is. So great little insights here. And also, I just want to thank you for holding point for the detox, for the fasting, because you guys, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. And I highly recommend it. So thanks for holding point on that and sharing your gifts to the container as well for that, Ange. Beautiful. So Miss Charlotte, you had some things that you wanted to say. We have a few minutes left, and then I'll take the last 2 minutes just to prep for what's happening on Sunday. Charlotte, are you still with us? Do you want to share some things?
Hi.
Hi.
I actually put it in the comments. I was just gonna say that I kind of resonated with Anne when she was saying how, when she's doing certain practices, she finds it hard to like, not just like to do with the dark side and the shadow self, that like sorry, the shadow of ourselves. But just in general, I find that whilst I've been doing the practices, and not just with the practices, but just in general, like in life, I find it really hard to, create that space and time to actually, connect to myself. And it's not that like, oh, I haven't got time or anything like that. It's not even that. It's just like I whole day I don't do anything, and next thing I know it's like nighttime and I'm going to bed. Like it's just like it's almost like time just completely collapsed, and I find it hard to really like create that sacred time and space. And even when I'm doing certain rituals and stuff, like I agree with Esther, I'm too much in my head.
What do you feel you need? What do you feel like you would need?
Oh, I was just sharing like like that I connect and resonate with what all the other women are saying. That's all I just wanted to say.
Okay, and if there's something
I
that you
just need
think
to
you
create a
need,
space.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, we've talked about this on the side. I really think doing a fast or a detox will really support you, because we spend a lot of our time, we all spend a lot of our time doing things that we're not even aware that
Yeah.
we're doing, spending time on social media, spending time on this, that, or the other, even spending time fucking making food. And
Yes.
it really does take away, like when we fast, we slow down and we do nothing because we have no energy, and it gives us back a lot of energy when we reintegrate. So I think that could also be something super supportive for you as well.
Yeah, well, I've actually just bought some like really nice stuff as well, because I'm also in the middle of creating my own little altar. I already have one set up anyway in my room, but I am actually buying like an Aphrodite statue. I'm getting pictures of different goddesses that I feel really connected to, and I'm also going to buy like chalice and stuff like that. So when I do finally reclaim my period, because I don't get periods at the moment, but when I finally actually regain my period and start to connect with my body and stuff, I have like this sacred like altar, which is like to worship and dedicate to the divine feminine. And I think that'll also help me create the space and time, because it'll make me feel like drawn to actually go there.
Yeah, 100%. It definitely will help. So let us know, send us a picture whenever that comes in. I did ask, and I want to just jump over to Christina. I did ask about her earlier, but I'm going to give her the floor again if she wants to share more, because I know she just really reflected on Cami. But I want to give you more space as well, because if you do want to share more, obviously we would love to hear more. Christina, you want to share more?
I would love to.
Yay.
Thank you. Because I wanted to share with you guys my current experience with this container, because for me, I knew from the very beginning that January is going to be my exam term at school. And so I was just curious how it's going to, fit in with this container, and how much space and energy I will have to focus on this. And I was so pleasantly surprised with how I was able to kind of move through with school, that I gave my focus to that. And but right now I'm so happy, because the term is coming to an end and I'm just opening up to this. And it made me so happy. The video that Amanda put out that just said that, we're going to become more live, and there are going to be more calls and more straight communication, because I appreciate that deeply. Because even though I really enjoyed this sisterhood, it is quite difficult for me to, make posts or comments or just interact in the sort of what I would call the offline version, but I mean the offline version within the online. Because sometimes when I have like a full day or something, it's just I find it a little bit more difficult to motivate myself to go online some more after spending the day on a computer or something. And so this is very enjoyable for me. And I wanted to thank you, Esther, for pointing that out, because it actually resonates kind of the same way that Amanda also had to give me, as she said, like she gave me a little nudge, as in I haven't heard from you in a while. How is it going? And I appreciate both of you so much, because in me, it kind of starts this reaction of, well, I'm going to take care of myself. Like I'm gonna, the controlling the self-controlling, like I should be able to take care of that, and it wouldn't have to wait for anybody else to point that out. But those two can go hand in hand. It doesn't have to be somebody else taking care of me. Doesn't mean that I'm like, yeah, apparently I do have a fear of not being able to take care of myself since I'm reacting in this way. But wow, yeah. But it makes me really appreciate to being confronted with it, that I can see that I can see the text, and at one part I'm very being appreciative, and the other part is just me being, well, you should have spoken faster or something. And I just love the clash of those two, because it's so educating to me. And so thank you for that, and thank you both, because I do appreciate it deeply, and it's so beautiful to be seen and felt in that way, and to feel supported. So thank you.
Well, we see you, we appreciate you, and that just goes into Vanessa. Vanessa asked about Cynthia. Yeah, she did mention that she didn't know if she was going to be able to make it. She had posted in the group. I think she had said that she's like going through something, or it's really busy. And so if Cynthia watches this, we feel you, and we feel you when you're not here. And even when you're not here, you're still a part of us, and we want to feel you more, and we want to connect with you more, because as you know, just like Christina, we all are a part of this energetic space. For Jane, it's a bit hard because the time. Jane's been showing up a lot more in the online container, which has been beautiful as well in the platform, because here's the challenge, right? The challenge with being global is that it's all hours, that there's all times, and we all have our own personal things. Some of us are in school, some of us are, just have a lot of stuff going on in our life. Like Jane's really struggling with her child. I think Cynthia is transiting out of her job, so we all have our personal stuff that we're going through, and we all have different time zones, and we all have different days that work for us. You're never going to be able, it's very hard to get everybody who it's a good time for everyone. I mean, even for me, 9 p.m. is not my best hour. But it's the best-ish hour that I can kind of target all of you guys in the best way. And so, Jane was at the ritual. I do want to start doing, just speaking into the next kind of chapter. I will start doing some live things, and the more of the live things, it's an invitation for you guys to join the live rituals. I will be doing them at different times, because I do want to be able to support other sisters in different time zones. I will have those pre-scheduled before the end of February. I will have them pre-scheduled. I will do one live training per week. Plus we have our two calls, which are still the 2nd and the 4th Sunday, same time. So that's going to be there as well. I feel the pulse of this group. Every live container that I ever do, thank you, Charlotte, I love you too. Every live container I ever do, the reason why I poke you guys, and I'm like, hey, how's it going over there? Like, do you want to give me, let me feel you? Because this helps me pull from my toolbox what I want to bring to gift to this container, as far as an experience or a dialogue, or and one of her posts the other day, she reminded me that I want to speak about the drama triangle in here, and I'll give a lecture on the drama triangle, and so that we can help to become more aware of ourselves, and when we're playing in this old pattern that's preventing us from stepping into the next version of what it is that we want.
And I want to ask something about that, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I always have the feeling that I'm not right when I write something that asks you. Because I then feel it's like a coaching, and I should give money and more space to it.
No, never ever feel like that. No, I'm
because
here for you guys.
It's a difference.
In whatever way.
It's a difference between sharing and somebody could mention something about it, some advice or something, or special asking, because I want to make sure that you also honor your boundaries or something like that, and I have no clue how much time you want to put
in. But here's where you get to own that you're not responsible for my boundaries. This is one of
Yes.
a pattern that I see with you, babe, because you want to support everyone and you want to make sure everybody's taken care of. And this is where I'm, don't worry about my boundaries. Don't, like, I'm here for you. And if for whatever reason I can't do it, then I won't do it and I'll
That's
communicate
very
that. But
good.
like, thank you for bringing that into this space. And I want you guys, like, the more that you show up and the more that you ask, like, it does create the energetic field to where I can tune in and see, this thing is necessary. This is what's coming up next, you know? And so that's why, you know, I know that fun and play is something, and sexiness and juiciness is something that, you know, has been asked for the container. And so this is why this Sunday, same time, we're going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to play with embodiment, and we're going to play with sexuality, and I'm going to invite you guys to wear something sexy if you want to have a little sexy party. And this is, you know, I'm not exactly sure what's going to come through yet, because usually I set the intention and then throughout the days to come, I'll have experiences and it gives me the ritual or the experience to hold. So that's why your contribution to the container and what comes up for you is a big piece and a big part of it. I did invite, because Esther also spoke into, she said she wanted to get more into like her kinky side. So we're going to play with sensations, and we're going to play with, I invite you, if you want to play with sensations, to bring a fork, to bring a feather, and to bring a wooden paddle or a wooden spoon. Super random, but we're going to play a little bit with like, I see Ange. Yeah. So a fork, a wooden paddle, and a feather. And we're gonna play with a little bit of sensation. So it's gonna be fun. Don't take ourselves too seriously. Like, just enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Cami, let me know if you don't have some pretty underwear. I will send you some money so you can get some, so you can show up and feel embodied and sexy. And I would love to gift that little pleasure gift. If there's anything you've got, you can have a little pleasure gift of that. Send me a message and I'm happy to support you with that. And yes, baby, you have something to say?
No, it's actually totally separate to this. I just wanted to actually do a little shout out to Vanessa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your surname right, Kuz. Just to say, I'm so happy about your fallopian tube. Woohoo! That's all I wanted to say.
Yes. And thank you for sharing that journey with us as well. Again, like, the more that you guys show up and the more that you share, the more we can celebrate you, because we're all going through these journeys, you know, and it's beautiful to celebrate you or honor you or hold you. If there's, like, you know, we're the feminine. At any moment we have anger, rage, happiness, ecstatic joy, sadness, fear, confusion. Like, we got enough of us in here that we're all going to be feeling it all at any moment. And so all of you is welcome. In any way you want to share up, you're always more than welcome to share in the container, to share directly to me, etc. So who is that?
I also want to say just one thing, or not really say, but I want to show you the pleasure view I have from my window. Check this out. We have snow in Prague and I'm loving it. And so I wanted to send you this. Over there up on the hill, because we're the last house in the street, and over there deer usually come and just lay down and hang out with me, and I love that, because they just go over there and lay, and so I wanted to give you a glimpse of that and send you a big kiss.
Yay. Thank you, baby. Thanks for sending that. Esther?
Beautiful to see. Here it's also February and it's also snow. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So because you were talking into the freeze mode, and it's lighting up really the snow, so that's beautiful. What I wanted to also say, share a celebration for the other Vanessa, by just being quiet and feel us. It's also, I can feel your energy in that, and it feels really nice. It feels alive. So I wanted to bring that in the space, and thank you for it. It gives a kind of calmness, and that feels really
beautiful. Yes, thank you. Thank you all for being here. It is now time. This is the world of time, and I want to respect everybody's time. And thank you all for being here. Thanks for, like, there were so many. There was only 2 of us, I think, that didn't get to be here on this impromptu 2 or 3 that didn't get to be here on this impromptu kind of journey. So thank you all so much for your time, for your energy, for your altars. I would love it if you guys want to send pictures of what you have and maybe how it cultivates over, you know, the journey in the next, you know, 6 weeks that we have together. I look forward to seeing you all on Friday or Sunday for some sexy playtime. And I look forward to seeing you in the group. In the meantime, I hope you guys have an amazing new moon. Step into your evening, your day, and the rest of this week with the vibration of whatever intention you set at the beginning of this journey. And I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up and for being a feminine embodied leader in this space. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, beloveds. Ciao.